And we are back. Welcome to my predictions for the FA Cup fourth round. Now, once again, I am going to be doing daily predictions for this because there are so many fixtures to cover. There are 4 fixtures for you today, so this video is going to cover those 4 games. Then tomorrow morning, we will do the 6 matches being played tomorrow. And then on Sunday morning, we will do all of the remaining ones. So I think there are 4 fixtures on Sunday and then 1 fixture on Monday. So all of those are going to be covered in Sunday morning's video. Before we get into it, I have to firstly issue an apology because I did not realise that there was a game last night between Bournemouth and Swansea. But quite frankly, I don't think any of you guys clicking on this video needed me to tell you that an in-form Premier League Bournemouth were going to win at home to an out-of-form Championship Swansea. So thankfully that result went as expected and you guys didn't need me for that. But yeah, I do apologise because I just genuinely didn't realise there was a game last night because my focus on this channel has been doing all the Asia Cup and AFCON recently. And again, thank you for all your amazing support on that series so far. And that one just slipped through my fingers. I just didn't see that fixture was on last night. Thankfully, though, there is no Asia Cup and AFCON today, so we can do a little bit of a strong focus on the FA Cup in today's video before we then bring back the Asian Cup and African Cup of Nations video starting again from tomorrow as well. So if you want to see all of that stuff, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the videos we've got coming out. Like I say, it's going to be double uploads for the next few days as we cover all the FA Cup fixtures, all the AFCON and Asia Cup fixtures, as well as the return of the Premier League, which I think I'm going to do that video Monday morning before the Premier League fixtures Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy all of my prediction series as well. And let's get into tonight's 4 matches in the FA Cup fourth round. And I have to be honest with you, if you look at these 4 fixtures on your screen right now, this is a really, really tough night of football to predict. Again, it's one of those situations where I genuinely believe, especially given the fact it's the FA Cup as well, I genuinely believe in all 4 fixtures tonight, all 3 results are possible. But we'll do them in order, starting off with Bristol City taking on Nottingham Forest. Bristol City, of course, beating West Ham over a game at, I was going to say Upton Park for a moment there, at the London Stadium, and then, of course, beating them at home. Very, very good performances from them in both games. Nottingham Forest nearly losing at home to Blackpool before then going away to Blackpool and beating them. So it's an interesting one. The Championship sides against the Premier League sides this season, the form has been very mixed, and obviously we'll talk about that in a moment when it comes to Chelsea's game. But I don't know, I have to look at the fixtures recently and look at Nottingham Forest's form and look at how well Bristol City did against West Ham and say that I think Bristol City are well within their right to think they're going to win this one. I'm not fully convinced. I still think Nottingham Forest, because of how deep their squad is, will be able to make changes and still field basically the same sort of quality of side. Don't think it'll be enough to get a win tonight, though. What I do think, though, is it's going to be enough to get a draw, which will then obviously see a replay occur. And then I think Nottingham Forest will probably end up beating Bristol City at home. But for me, I don't think this one is going to get decided tonight. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, it is Chelsea taking on Aston Villa. And obviously Chelsea winning 6-1 against Middlesbrough in their EFL Cup second leg of their semi-final the other day, which has already booked themselves 1 spot at Wembley for this season. They're going to be looking to add on their road to Wembley in the FA Cup this weekend. And obviously this game is tonight against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa's away form recently has not been very good. And I think Chelsea have played well recently. Yes, they did lose to Middlesbrough in that first leg. But outside of that, they've won every single other game they've played recently. And I think their performances are starting to pick up again. Now, granted, those performances have been against the likes of Fulham and obviously Middlesbrough, like I've said, Luton, all sides down the bottom of the Premier League, whereas Aston Villa obviously sit currently in the top 4 at the moment. And both sides have pretty tricky Premier League fixtures coming up in midweek as well. So it's going to be a tough one to call because I don't really know what sort of sides these teams are going to be putting out. I would expect Chelsea to play their strongest side. I'm not convinced Villa will play their strongest side. So with that said, I'm going to give Chelsea the win tonight and I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win. But again, watch this space. I think if Villa play their best team, they probably could come away with at least a draw, possibly even the win tonight. Like I say, these fixtures are very, very tough to call. From an all-Premier League tie to an all-Championship tie, it is Sheffield Wednesday taking on Coventry City. And this is a really good one to do a prediction for because these sides have played twice in the Championship in the space of the last month. Coventry winning on both occasions, including winning this exact fixture last weekend. It was Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry in the Championship, quite literally on Saturday last week. They're now playing each other again at the same ground just 6 days later. And like I said, Coventry have won both fixtures in the Championship so far this season. Will these sides make changes? I think if any side is going to make changes for this game, it'll be Sheffield Wednesday, given the fact that they are at the bottom of the Championship. So I'm going to go for Coventry again. I'm going to go for 3 wins in a row in a month for Coventry over Sheffield Wednesday. 2-1 is what I'm going to go for, as that was the scoreline last weekend. And then finally, it is Tottenham Hotspur taking on Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A ground where Manchester City have gone to 5 times since it's been built, have not scored a single goal. Is that going to change? Pep Guardiola said off the back of the Champions League final, when they asked him, now that you've won the treble, what is your ambition for next season? His response was score at Tottenham. Are Manchester City going to score at Tottenham tonight? No, they're not. I have to stick with the memes. I have to. It's like a mental block for them. Don't forget, by the way, that Haaland is still going to be missing for this one. It is the expectation. Guardiola said he'll be fit for the Premier League game coming up this week, but he won't play at the weekend. That may be a bluff, and he may play tonight, but he didn't score there last season. So, I don't know. I just have a feeling Tottenham are going to do it again. Question marks whether or not potentially James Maddison could play. He's been in full training this week. I think this is an opportunity. You probably give him at least 45 minutes, either first half or second half, depending on the situation. Maybe a game like Manchester City is a bit too extreme to bring him back into it, but I don't know. I just think Tottenham are going to do it again. They might not because of how Postecoglou plays with that high line, and that could be the opportunity for Manchester City to get in behind them, but I can't not. The memes are just too good to ignore, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 Tottenham win. Obviously, Manchester City score, completely different complexion on the game, but I still think Tottenham have a very good chance of winning this game, whether or not Manchester City score or not. And do you know what? Maybe it's my little bit of Manchester United bias, and I want Manchester City to lose, but I just think Tottenham are going to win tonight. I really do. But that is going to be it for today's predictions. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you, as always, for all of your amazing support on this channel. And like I say, I will be back again tomorrow morning for 6 more FA Cup predictions tomorrow morning, as well as then doing my next round of AFCON and Asian Cup predictions. I will see you then.